So I see Tom Brady agreed to a broadcasting job after he's done playing football. That's pretty cool. Has that ever been done before, where a person actively in the league has already accepted a position for when they retire? It could be. I really don't know. I didn't expect to talk about that at all. I was just going to play Weddle, and then my phone went off, and bam, there we go. We have a story. Okay, AFC Amari. Wow, okay. It's Nick Chubb. So, Kareem Hunt. Hey. Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I went and did some digging and I found a tier list for tight ends that's good enough to do Mike Gesicki versus the world, and that's going to be today's video. Before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to everybody who was commenting about the packs and were showing interest in the packs. And as always, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. And let's hop into Mike Gesicki versus the world. Okay, welcome back everyone. As you can see, without my fat fucking face in the way, we have a pretty good tier list. Probably missing a few people, but for the most part, I think we've got all the starters and big names. Above him, we've got the tight ends I would take over Mike Gesicki, and below him, we've got the tight ends that I would not take over Mike Gesicki. Pretty basic. Before we hop into it, we always just like to go and glance at their career so we have some idea of who we're talking about, so let's take a look now. Alright, so as you can see, our boy's been around for 4 years, and the one thing about him that I've always given him respect and credit for is every year to some degree he has gotten better. Whether it's touchdowns, yards, whatever. Now, sadly, he doesn't have a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro or anything like that, but I think he probably would have a Pro Bowl if he was just on a different team and not in his current situation. They're looking good now, but previously it's kind of been a mixture of I don't know what the fuck to do. So you can't blame him. I think all things considered, he has had a very good career. And we'll just go see how good I think he is against everybody else. Alright, so let's give him a shuffle. I don't know. Actually, we don't really need to. Anyway, starting off the list, we've got Austin Hooper. Nah, he ain't bad, but he's really disappointing on Cleveland, coming out of Atlanta where he showed so much promise. Moving on, we've got Ian Thomas. As far as I'm concerned, this guy seriously, hasn't done a fucking thing. Not an insult, I just don't think he has done anything. Up next, we've got Jack Doyle. Sadly, the last big memory I have of Jack Doyle is when Vontaze Burfict tried to kill him, but he's a reliable target. He's just not the greatest option. Moving on, we've got Mercedes Lewis. Nah. Reliable, old. Like, really old. I'm pretty sure he's damn near 40. Moving on, we've got Kittles and Bits. Yeah, he just needs to stay healthy. He gets hurt every single year for an extended period of time, and it sucks. Moving on, we've got Gerald Everett, underrated. I wouldn't take him over Mike Gesicki, but he's underrated. He's going to get you 40 receptions, 400 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's what you're going to get, and you're not going to complain about it. Moving on, we've got CJ Uzomah. I do think he's a little underrated too. He was really good for catching a bomb a game for the Bengals offense this year before he got hurt. He's on the Jets now, and I think he will do well there too, but all in all, I'm not going to take him over Mike Gesicki, as much as I like the guy. Moving on, we've got Tyler Higbee. Close, actually. Very close. I think this one's night and day for some people, but Tyler Higbee, I've said this about the last 2 guys, but I think is underrated. A lot of physicality, really hard to bring down, good set of hands. I wouldn't take him over Big Mike. I do think he is very good, though, and it's a close race there. Moving on, we've got Jordan Akins, I believe, or who is it, Fells? I don't even fucking know who the tight ends have been there the last 3 years. No, I don't know. Get the fuck out of here. Up next, we've got Anthony Firkser. I'm not even certain he's in the league anymore. I don't think he has a job. Moving on, we've got... Is that Ryan Griffin? No. Fucking stunned he's on this list. Moving on, we got Dan Arnold, another underrated guy. Not, that good. Not as good as Mike Gesicki, but he is more productive than people give him credit for. Following him, we've got Travis Kelce, obviously. He's probably the best tight end right now, considering he's more reliable, doesn't get hurt nearly as much. He's honestly one of the most valuable players in the entire NFL. Telling you right now, Kansas City, if you had to keep him or Tyreek, you have the one that matters. He's much more valuable than Tyreek ever was. Moving on, we've got, is that Adam Trotman, right, from the Saints, right? Sit the fuck down. I don't know. Probably has 1 touchdown and around 100 yards. Great. Up next, we've got Tyler Conklin. He had a breakout year this year. Not taking him over Mike, but he had 600 receiving yards. It was really nice to see. All right, up next, we've got Dallas Goedert. God damn, that's tough. Probably take Dallas. Moving on, we've got Gronk. If he's playing, dude, I'd still take Gronk. He's fucking good. He's really good. Moving on, we've got Dalton Schultz. I think I'd take Schultz. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Jarwin supposed to be your guys' tight end, but just due to consistent injuries and Schultz being good that he pretty much took over his job? Moving on, we've got TJ Hawk, also known as Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd take him over Mike. I think he's like top 5. He's fast, he's physical, he can catch, he can block, do whatever the fuck you need him to. He's gonna do it at an elite level. Moving on, we've got Jared Cook. Oh man, as consistent as they come, really. I don't think I'd take him over Mike just because I think Mike is going to continue to get better, and I think right now he's already better than Jared slightly. But Jared is reliable as they come, and he's gonna make a huge play for you at some point in every single game. Where is he now? Didn't he go to the Rams or something? Moving on, we got Evan Ingram. No, he's an ass and he's just terrible and he sucks and I fucking hate him and I think he's stupid. Moving on, we've got Darren Waller. Obvious choice. This guy is a freak, dude. He's a goddamn wide receiver when it comes down to it. If it's ever a toss-up, good luck getting that because you're not going to. He's taller than you and he is stronger than you. I can guarantee it. Moving on, we've got Mark Andrews, elite. Up there with the rest of the greats. Had a shit ton of yards last year, and I think right around 10 touchdowns. There's no complaints on him at all. Up next, we've got Hunter Henry, Jared Cook Jr. He's the same player. I think he's a little bit better than Jared Cook. I think he's a little bit under Big Mike, but that's not a knock on him. You guys know the respect I've given him over the years. I believe if you had a big play and you needed a tight end to get you a lot of yards, Mike Gesicki would get you more than Hunter Henry. Moving on, we've got Pat Freiermuth. He's good. Wouldn't take him over Mike yet, but he's a touchdown machine. Probably going to be heavily used this year too, considering they don't really have a developed quarterback. Moving on, we've got Noah Fant. Yeah, he's got speed, man, and for a tight end, it's crucial because not only can they shock a secondary, they can fucking fry one. He's had horseshit Drew Lock throwing him the ball. He's had pretty average Teddy Bridgewater throwing him the ball. Sadly, he gets traded and he's still got horseshit Drew Lock throwing him the ball. Provided in those circumstances, he's still able to throw together 700 fucking yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns. I think he is going to be great wherever he goes. It's just sad when he's capped out right now because he doesn't have a quarterback who can utilize him to his full potential. Moving on, we've got, is that a Washington jersey? I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't see Logan Thomas on here, so I'm assuming this is Washington. I'm going to go with no. You kind of look like an older version of Deshaun Watson. I don't fucking know. Moving on, we've got Zach Ertz. Not anymore. Probably about equal talent, but I think his career is about done. I'm pretty sure if he plays a full season, he's guaranteed to get injured at this point, too. It's kind of sad. I don't know what his age is, but he's been in the league for like 10 goddamn years, guys. That is gonna fuck up your body. Moving on, we've got Dawson Knox. Ooh, Christ. Not yet. I probably will if he continues to repeat what he's been doing. He's a good example of what I mean by when I say speed can fucking kill when a tight end has it. Pretty sure 3 or 4 times this year he caught a bomb of a touchdown that probably could have been prevented if it would have been a usual tight end, but he's just too goddamn quick. That and he's a goddamn bull. You can't bring the guy down. He's on angry runs every single week. And lastly, we've got Kyle Pitts. Yeah, he's a fucking freak. I've been saying it before he was drafted, dude. He got 1,000 yards, but only 1 touchdown or some crazy shit like that last year. He's one of the only things they have in Atlanta. Watch this year. I'm going to say it right now. 1,200 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns. It's going to be fucking stupid. All right, guys, and that is going to be all for Big Mike versus the World, or I should say Mike Gesicki, not Big Mike. Big Mike is Mike Evans, who would be another good versus the World, by the way, hey? But if my math checks out, I think Gesicki is the 11th best tight end in the league. Some people might take it as disrespect, but I see it as respect. I still think he's fantastic. I would just take these guys over him. Anyway, guys, that is going to be all for today. You know what to do. If you did enjoy this video, comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post every single day. With all that shit being said, I'm going to edit this so you guys can hopefully watch it on time. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. As always, I will see you the next time I upload.